Girl Power Tuesday. As we continue our countdown to Jamaica 55, we want to talk about a number of strong, brilliant, and talented women that are produced right here in Jamaica. One of them, she just run leave the chair, you see a while ago, Roxy. So on this leg of the Jamaica 55 countdown, we're highlighting cultural icons, some of them, at least there's so many, outstanding feminists and musical geniuses. Plenty, no, Simone?
Holy,
Plenty. Plenty.
We don't have time.
We probably have to do another set of them. And we start off with Dr. Olive Lewin, who is a pioneer musicologist. She championed Jamaica's traditional music and cultural art forms.
Folk.
Yeah. Yeah. For more than 6 decades, Olive Lewin remained at the forefront of the process of researching, very, very important, researching, performing, and teaching traditional Jamaican folk music and theatre. Always engaged in the search for knowledge, Dr. Lewin spearheaded the Jamaica Memory Bank project in the 1980s, undertaking the task of recording, transcribing, and preserving traditional stories for the benefit of future generations. And people, you need to go to the Memory Bank and access those stories that she put. You'd be amazed. So here are a few facts about Dr. Olive Lewin. She held positions as Director of Arts and Culture at the Office of the Prime Minister and Director of the Jamaica Institute of Folk Culture. She also wrote cultural pieces for the Gleaner. She's been bestowed with the Order of Jamaica, the Gold Musgrave Medal, and she's been given an award by the Associate of the Royal Academy of Music. She also has a few publications, including Rocket Come Over, 40 Folk Songs of Jamaica, and Messengers.
Yep, and don't forget her work with the Jamaican folk singers, because that is something for which she is very, very widely known. Una Marcin, born February 5, we're talking about another Jamaican icon. In Santa Cruz, she's left an indelible mark. In 1935, this feminist attended an international meeting where she was the only black participant attending the International Women's Conference, Istanbul, Turkey. This trailblazer, she's known, as I said, as Una Marcin. And here's some facts about her. Is it Una or Una?
Una.
Una Marcin. Una Maud Marcin, she was a poet, an editor, an activist, a journalist, and a playwright. She was Jamaica's first female magazine editor and publisher, the Cosmopolitan, and through her work with the Pioneer Press, she published Vera Bell, Ethel Rovere, and Louise Bennett. And as the first black female employee of the BBC, Marcin developed her Calling, the West Indies program for servicemen into Caribbean voices. She has 5 collections of poetry, people: Tropic Reveries from 1930s, Heights and Depths, 1932, Moth and the Star in 37, Towards the Stars in 45, and Selected Poems 2011. Marcin authored 3 plays, At What Price, 1932, London Calling, I think a lot of us would have heard about that one, in 37, and Pocomania in 38. She died in Kingston on May 6, 1965. And in March of this year, the National Library of Jamaica and Blouse and Skirt Books have co-published 2 plays, Pocomania and London Calling, both written by Marcin.
Yep, she was one of the ladies that we featured this year in the Women in Theatre Festival. And we also featured, we couldn't have it without her, Louise Bennett Coverley, born September 7, 1919. Poet and activist from Kingston, Jamaica. Louise Bennett remains a household name, a living legend, and a cultural icon. Here are a few facts about her. We have to say a few because there's so many. Young Louise wrote her first dialect poem at the age of 14. In the late 1930s and early 1940s, she was regarded as an embarrassment right here in Jamaica, you know, because she was speaking the dialect, and it was felt that it was socially unacceptable, and only the poor and illiterate spoke patois. And this is after Miss Lou come from a big London training. Like an exposure, good thing. The British accent was regarded as the epitome of cultured speech. She made her first major public appearance on Christmas morning of 1936 when she performed at the annual concert at the Coke Methodist Church. The then 17-year-old recited a poem she had written in Jamaican dialect and received a prize, a whopping
One guinea. Woo!
Guess who was the MC?
Mas Eric.
Mas Eric
Oh,
Covally, who would later become her husband.
That's too cute.
Yes.
That's too cute.
Miss Lou was the recipient of a number of significant national, regional, and international honors and awards. These include the silver and gold Musgrave medals in 1965 and 79, respectively, the Order of Jamaica in 1974, the St. Henry Medal of the Institute of Jamaica in 1980. She was also made a member of the British Empire for work in Jamaican literature and theatre in 1960 and in March 1988. She was honored at the second annual Caribbean American Awards of Excellence in Miami. On Independence Day 2001, she was appointed a member of the Order of Merit.
Which is not an easy one to get.
Not an easy one to get.
Have the OM.
In Canada, there is a whole place reserved for her. Universities have archives to her tribute. Also worked at the BBC, like Una Marson. So, and worked in radio and television.
And helped to make the dialect socially acceptable among all classes, even though today, still some folks still turn up their noses at it. But
some
pioneer
folks who
in
can't
that
speak
regard.
English stuff.
Shade. All right, Miss Marjorie, make we close it out with you now. What an amazing woman. Marjorie Wiley. Music is a way of life for the soft-spoken. Those are the words said by this musical genius whose textured musical journey, which began with training in classical piano in her formative years, growing up in the Collins Green community of St. Andrew during the 1950s and 60s. As the NDTC's musical director, Wiley composed and arranged music and accompaniment for the Creative Dance Ensemble, sharing the vision of its founders to create their own definitions of life and art influenced by the Caribbean cultural experience. So we have a few facts about this musical genius. In '62, she had been involved in the dance umbrella production Roots and Rhythms, mounted for Jamaica's independence celebrations in that year. She played piano for dance classes with Eddie Thomas, co-founder of the NDTC with Rex Nettleford. Wiley's first original music for the NDTC was created for Nettleford's folk form in '68. Between 1970 and 1977, she composed original scores for founding member Sheila Barnett's major works, Shadows Mountain, Women, Nye Woman of Destiny, and I, Not I, as well as arrangements and short composed inserts for Nettleford's Married Story and Maya, on which she consulted legendary folklorist Louise Bennett. It was a network of them, folks.
Yeah,
her music is heard in Backlash, which features the music of reggae legend Toots Hibbert. And
awesome.
She's an amazing
Country Wedding. She was our musicologist when we went. She was more than happy. And let me tell you, see these three women that we just spoke about, Marjorie, Louise, and well, at the top, in terms of research, they've done so much to catalog and archive our culture.
But what you told me you were able to learn from Miss Marjorie at this stage,
in just one,
there is more that we need to extract and record.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying they did the research. They went around to the communities. So we have it. When people say, what going with culture? It's there.
We need to extract
We need to find a way to promote the information that Dr. Lewin, Marjorie Wiley, and Miss Lou went around and made sure was archived so that the generations could learn. We must.
Yeah.
Must. Amazing women,
to them. All to them. Yes. We have some amazing Jamaicans and certainly some amazing females among them. We have more to come on Smile after this break. Please stay with us.